Hello, guys. This is Rebbecca Scales, and I'm here with the fabulous Lupe Soto and Tatiana Fox, and we are right smack dab at the beginning of Ladies Week.
Yeah,
Super exciting. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to catch you up a little bit, see what we've all been up to. Do you want to start, Tat?
Okay. Well, we went to Malta.
We did.
We went to the Malta Poker Festival in April. Without you. next one. But it was amazing, and we had so much fun. We hosted the off-field activities, and we had a blast. And actually, all the people that were on our tour are here in Vegas now for the WSOP.
So we didn't know, but on our bus tour, there was a man named Tower who happens to have a podcast too in the UK, right?
He's an announcer he's a big announcer for their Goliath and all their big series.
He's a big announcer for the Goliath. So we didn't know, and he was kind of acting up on our tour a little bit, and so Tat was like, we should spank him, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna give him the boa, and we put a boa around this guy, and then we start getting these messages on our phone. Oh my gosh, is that Tower? We were like, I don't know.
Apparently, he's like the face of UK poker.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And we put a pink boa on him on the roughest bus ride I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah, we got smacked in the head by palm trees.
Yeah.
It was fun, though.
It was literally the guy's first day driving a bus through Malta. And if you've ever been to Malta, the streets are about this big. Super
hilarious.
tiny.
Hilarious.
Okay. Yeah. So it was a lot of like jerking, like just stop, go like this the whole time. So it was a great time.
It was lots of fun. Lots of fun. And then I've been in Australia just working on some things and made it back here. It's been a while. Lupe?
It has been a while. Well, I think that we didn't expect the Toast to 20, which is, of course, our whole thing with the Lips tour is that, it's a 20-year anniversary. So we said, we're going to do 20 stops and have 20 events for the 20 years. We're, I think, up to 24 or 25 already, and it's only June.
Yeah, you blew through that.
So we have been busy. It's all good, though. Fortunately, we have been very well received by several properties, and pretty much everybody that we reached out to, for the most part, has said, even if they couldn't do it right then, it was like, let's find a spot in the calendar. So, yeah, we've been very busy traveling, and we haven't been as, I guess, consistent in us getting together just because of the inconsistencies in our schedules. I mean, You've been traveling everywhere with your poker power and then all this other stuff you're doing, and you've been over in in Australia for all the insanity over there. And, I'm just all over the place. So it's like, okay, our goal is to have a podcast every month.
Yes, we are committed to it now.
Yeah, and so we're recommitting to be able to do that. And, we want to make sure that when we come to you, we do so in a professional setting. And this doesn't get more professional than anything. This studio is pretty amazing. So
shout out to Scott at Level 9, who's looked after us since day one.
Yes.
100%. He's amazing.
We really, really appreciate it. And they're a podcast studio here in Las Vegas. So if you ever need podcast studio, that's the people to go to. But, poor Tat has to come clear across the oceans every time we do a podcast.
A few oceans.
It's such a burden coming across to Las Vegas.
I know,
such a
right?
burden.
I know. She says her second home, Las Vegas, So, yeah, it's been crazy. But we're definitely back, and we've got a lot of things to talk about.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we start? Ladies Week?
Ladies Week.
Ladies Week.
Oh my gosh. Well, Ladies Week has officially happened because the Win started, and Win they scheduled their event for Ladies Week on a different week.
Okay, let's talk about that 15-way chop. That was at the Win.
Yes.
This is the event.
Yes.
Okay, go.
So the final 15 got together and just decided to do a chop. They were done playing. They felt like they were all having a really good time. They said, hey, everybody's going to get some money. There were just a couple of bigger stacks. Lisa Childs had the biggest stack, so she wound up taking the first place and the title and the trophies and all that other stuff. But they just said, let's just do this. And that probably is not going to happen in most events anywhere except for ladies. And I think that's because ladies have like a camaraderie, and they just say, you know what? We're all having fun. Everybody get some money. And that's what they did.
Even when I teach poker and we're teaching women we don't use real chips, they're always trying to give it to their neighbor. And I'm like, don't do that in real poker room. They're always like, here, you can have some of my chips. They're just so sweet.
Yeah.
So different than when I teach men.
Although the Mixed Game Festival was here this last week, and I got to play, and I was playing with, all men. Actually, the first day I played with, there was some women at the table, but the second day I played, it was with all men. And I don't know what my challenge was, but I couldn't figure out when the game was changing.
Yeah.
3 times I played the game we were playing before than the one we were actually playing. And I would make mistakes. And these guys were they were giving me back my money. Oh, here, honey, have your chips back and stuff. And I was like, okay.
You played the woman card?
I played the women card. I played that. I've been drinking too many Coronas cards.
I was going to say, did they not have the plaque on the table?
Yes, of course, but I wasn't paying attention, you know? I was drinking and talking.
How do you feel about chopping?
Chopping?
A tournament.
Well, you got it well, there's just 2 things. I'm not a tournament player.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard for me. And I think that I understand when people say, hey, let's just chop. There's a lot of factors. People are really tired. People are like, maybe they've all got an event the next day that's a bigger event that they want to be in. Or, I mean, there's a lot of factors. Some people play it for their advantage. They're saying, too bad you're tired. I'm going to play it all the way down, because they're expecting to be able to overtake that person because that person is tired, right? But I don't really care. I think that whoever is in that prize pool that is discussing that chop, it's nobody else's business except for those people who are involved. Yeah, I don't care what they do with their money. But I don't. The only thing I do have a strong feeling about is if somebody says no, to just drop it. You know, don't bully them. Don't give them a hard time.
Because everybody has to agree, right?
Yeah. There's no such thing as chopping when somebody doesn't want to.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree. I think you should play it down. I am hardcore. It's a competition. I'm here to make the most money as possible. I'm not playing tiddlywinks. I'm playing for the big money at the top. But that is me, and I was not in that tournament, so I have no dog in the fight. But yeah, I would not chop. I'm playing it down. And I've been in so many tournaments where I've been chip leader in Omaha events, mixed with men, of course, and they've never let me chop. Never. So I'm like, okay, I'm not chopping either now.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that it really does belong to the people who are in it. It's their money.
And that's how I feel too. I figure I don't care if I'm not in it.
And boy, let me just tell you, everybody will have an opinion.
Oh, it's all over Twitter.
Yeah. And that to me is interesting. It's like when there is an event where something like that happens and it goes viral because people are like aghast or whatever. I'm thinking, it's none of your business.
Yeah.
You were there. It's not your money. You can do whatever you want when you're seated and you're the one that's participating in that discussion. But if you're not, what really kills me is when, and because, you know, I'm a professional poker watcher, you know, and I see chop discussions. That's what I see every day, you know, when I'm working. So what really kills me is when somebody in the rail starts complaining about what they deciding to do in the chop. And it's like, I will go up, I will kick somebody off the rail in 2 seconds. It's not their business. It's nobody's business but the people who are involved in the chop.
Well, you can't chop the WSOP events.
That's true. But it happens a lot. It's a bathroom discussion.
Yeah.
And you got to pray that the person honors it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
I do find sometimes when I play that the chip leader will be like, absolutely not. And then when they get low, they're like, maybe. And then I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah. As the person who they wouldn't chop
Yeah.
when you became the chip leader.
Well, I don't think I've ever technically asked for a chop myself. Once. I've always been in the conversation. Like, not always, but, you know, if I make it that far. I've never once said, hey, let's chop.
Neither have I.
Personally.
I'm pretty amiable because, you know, first of all, I don't play a lot of tournaments, but if I do play and I'm fortunate enough to get to that level and there's a discussion, I'm pretty much whatever the table wants to do. But I remember one time I had a dining room table set I wanted to buy, and it was $2,200 $22.50, I think was my dining room table. And I said, if you're willing to give me $22.50, you guys can do whatever you want with the rest. And that was, I think, like second place money or something like that. For it was a small tournament. It was maybe 100 people or something. And they just started laughing. They said, "What?" And I said, "I have a dining room table that I am here playing a stupid tournament because I don't like playing tournaments. I'm a cash game player because I wanted this money for my dining room table." And they're like, "Okay, fine." They gave me the money for my dining room table and then they chopped the rest.
I've been in a lot of ladies' tournaments in Florida and they do pay the bubble. And I've done that 2-3 times there. But that's kind of different, I think. Like the bubble sucks. I mean, come on, it sucks. And I'm cool. Like if I know I'm doing good and I've cashed, I'm like cool paying the bubble. But even some people will not do that.
Oh, yeah. I see that a lot in Vegas. There's a lot of places I play that they will absolutely not pay the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but some people feel like, okay, there's the bubble and there's the bubble. Really,
you got to start getting a little out of hand.
crazy. Yeah. It's like, no.
Yeah, I get that.
And I don't mind. I think, it really does suck to be the bubble, but somebody has to be.
Yeah,
you got to break the money, at some point. So again, I also feel like if it's everybody's decision, fine. It's their money.
Yeah.
100% their money. And if you are the bubble and you're going to be the bubble and you can convince everybody to give you some of that money, good for you.
Yeah, that's true. 100%.
But
I just hate when they like vulture, like when they know the bubble's coming and then they're just like rooting for you to get out and everybody's standing up trying to see what everybody's doing. I think that's so gross.
But you know what I also find is that some people are completely oblivious to the short stacks. Like when it comes time to reach the money, they don't really take the moments to look around the room and see this person's short and that person's short. So do I really want to be involved in that? Just let it happen naturally, especially if you've got a lot of chips,
Yeah.
So they're like, no, I don't think we need to do that because if you got two people that are short stacked, it's real possible that they'll both go out and they can even split last place money. That happens too.
Was this win event actually the start of Ladies Week or just a
Technically,
random?
it would be. It wasn't.
Yeah.
No, let's say we can't call it Ladies Week because Ladies Week was something that we coined a long time ago because it used to be a week.
Yeah.
Now it's the summer camp because not everybody plays well with others and they make their calendar a little bit looser than a week.
Oh, my.
Let's talk about that a little bit more, like how it started and not playing well together to begin with and how we got here.
Ooh. Well, when I started in, with the World Series of Poker, the first couple of years of Lips, the Ladies World Series of Poker Championship was actually a Lips event. And so we had that, but we wanted to have more than everybody coming into town for one event. So I started working with the Caesars properties, and I'm trying to remember. And forgive me, it's been 20 years, okay? But I want to say back in 05, maybe 04 or 05, 05 probably. We pitched to the Caesars properties to have more events. So it was like the main event and then like 2 other events. So it was like 3 days of ladies plus the WSOP Ladies Championship. So now it's 4 days, almost a week, And then the Caesars Poker Room moved, and so they weren't doing the big events anymore. So then I moved my stuff over to Orleans, and Orleans gave me a full week. They said, you can have a full week event. And we literally had, I want to say 6 days, 5 or 6 days every day, and then the ladies WSOP.
So wait, so besides WSOP, they were all Lips events.
Every event that was a ladies event in town outside of the WSOP was a Lips event.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So we started Ladies Week, period.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. And then we
Just
were
to
with
clarify who's we, you?
Okay.
It says Lips on the side.
Let's be clear.
I am
This
so
maybe Lips.
okay. I am just. It's funny to me because all these years, and I don't understand. I don't like to
Promote yourself.
promote myself. Yeah, I've never been one of those people. We've never okay, I'm a sole proprietor. I have no staff. There's nobody else.
We thought we were your staff.
Well, you know what I mean. I have a lot of people who love me and support me and have done things for me all these years, for sure.
Right.
But there's technically never been an employee of staff outside of myself. So, I mean, I've what do they call it? Hoodwinked and brought my children in occasionally and that kind of thing, but really nothing. But anyway, so when I say we, it's just because I feel that Lips couldn't be where Lips is today without all those people who have supported me over the years. You know, and it's the truth. And that means operators, it means players, you know, it means my family, it means my besties, you know. I mean, I couldn't. Right. So I say we collectively because we are all working towards the same goal. So anyway, that was, we went to Orleans. We were there for several years. Then they stopped doing the series that they used to do. And I can't remember what it was called now. Anyway, so when they stopped doing it, I had a real good friend. His name was John Colville, and he was the poker manager at the Golden Nugget. And him and I sat down with at the Binion's little restaurant that they had. It used to be downstairs.
Oh, I've been there.
And we were eating the best stew in the world is at the Binion's Cafe. So we went down there and we had napkins and we drafted what we called the Grand Series, which is now the Golden Nugget Grand Series.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we did it on a napkin. Okay, and he's like, I don't know if we could do. I said, pitch it. You can't lose. So, you know, the Golden Nugget has this huge ballroom. And so he pitched it to them and they were very supportive and they said yes. But then I told him, you have to make the ladies event a Lips event. And he goes, I don't think they're going to go for that. And then I was going to punch him in the throat. I was like, you mean to tell me that I helped you build this whole thing and you aren't even going to give me a ladies event in here? And so we ran the ladies event without the branding of Lips. And
what year was that?
Ooh, it's a good question. I want to say 08, maybe, somewhere around there, 08, something like that. Anyway, I remember, I think Suri won, if anybody knows her. Anyway, Sook, she won that event, if I remember correctly. And we even had bracelets for the winners. They were gold bracelets. God. They were beautiful. Wow. They were, you know, it's like the whole WSOP, like, mimic of the WSOP. They're beautiful. But that first year, we had nobody for the first event. And the ladies' event was event number 2 later in the day. And it was this huge ballroom, completely brand new tables. It was gorgeous, blah, blah. And the event had 20 people.
Oh, no.
The first event. And the GM came and the owner, because, you know, it's Golden Nugget. There's not a lot of people in the upper. It's like, boom, boom. You're right there, the owner. They walked in and they were like, what's going on here? And I told them, I said, if you can come back later on this afternoon, we're going to have some people here.
Yeah.
The women showed up in droves. And we had, I don't remember how many that first year, but it was a couple hundred. And because we had all the women show up, they gave us our seal of approval and we were able to be Lips the next year. And so then we did multiple events. We had, you know, a whole like 4 or 5 days of events. And we had tag teams and we had, you know, everything. We had Omaha. We did everything. And so that's when we got coined Lips Ladies Week. So, and then I started talking to some of the other operators and saying, well, you know, let's do this and this, let's branch it out. If you guys will do a ladies, and then we'll really make it a week, you know? And it's kind of like if you get really good at what you do, they almost don't need you anymore. And that's where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, the Golden Nugget decided that they didn't need a third party. Aria doesn't need a third party. MGM doesn't need a third party. I don't know, who else have I been at? Orleans doesn't need a third party. Caesars doesn't need a third party. Who the hell else are we? I mean, I've been everywhere.
That's true. That's true.
You know, God bless the South Point because he has been nothing but supportive. And he says, if you want to come out here and do your events, you're welcome here. And so we have our Lips National Championship at South Point, and Venetian has always been super supportive back from when Kathy Raymond was there. And now, of course, Tommy's been there for many, many years now, and he's very supportive. And, he still makes it a Lips event. And that's the only events we have now is the Venetian and the South Point, and I will always have a mega satellite for the ladies WSOP because, even when and I'm not with the WSOP anymore technically, but I will always be grateful for them because they were part of the formation of our organization in the very, very beginning.
Didn't you also set up the warm-up at the WSOP? The warm-up ladies
yeah,
event?
So that was an interesting thing. The warm-up was...
my favorite.
Yeah, they called us because Caesars has internal clubs for the staff.
For the women.
Yeah.
And they have many of them. Like they have one that's, and it's...
Sassy, right?
Savvy.
Yeah, I used to be part of it when I worked there.
Yes. And that particular organization is just for the women who work at Caesars Properties. And it's basically an opportunity to elevate the women, and they do in-servicing and all this stuff. So they came to us and said, hey, we've got this group, and this is what they do. And they thought it would be really cool to incorporate a poker tournament for their women. What can we do? And I said, well, let's do a poker tournament, and then we will make it a super cheap event so that they can bring the people who don't know how to play.
Yeah.
And then we'll have all the ladies who just want to just blow off some steam the night before the ladies event. And that's what we came up with the warm-up. That's cool. The warm-up was, now it's about 4 or 5 years into the warm-up, I think, maybe.
5 years.
Something that it's been happening, the warm-up.
Yeah.
Is it this year too?
Yeah, it's this year.
It's this year. But this year they moved it off of the eve of the ladies event because that event was ending at like 4 a.m. and the ladies had to be back at like 11 to play. So they moved it to Tuesday, I think it was, or something like that. And I thought that was just so great of them to do. And it worked out, and the Savvy is still involved. And
I see it. It is Tuesday.
The Women's Poker Association is the hosts of that. And it happened around the same time that I was president for the WPA, and I felt like it was a great marriage.
Yeah.
So that's what we wound up doing it with the WPA and that, and I think it's perfect.
I knew you were behind that too.
Just a little.
She's so humble.
It had to be. Who else? Who else cares this much? Yeah.
So it's
important to know.
20 years later, and it's almost what the goal was. The goal overall, I mean, it sucks sometimes for your pocketbook, but it's really achieving what you set out to do, is to have operators thinking about their own calendars and putting in a women's tournament into their series, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. I shouldn't be upset about it. I think that's the real ultimate growth where we wanted it to go. And I think that because we are a niche market, if you work yourself out of a job, it's because you've done something right.
Yeah.
And you've made it to where everybody is having those conversations. So I'm not upset. I'm upset on one respect because, I have another dining room table that I want to buy. Yeah. But on the other hand, it is what it is, and it's supposed to be this way. And that's all good. That just means I can work on something else.
So what events are you going to be at this week besides yours?
I'm going to go to the ladies WSOP, of course. I'll be there. I'll go to the WPA breakfast and support that. Yeah. And then go. I love to I don't play the ladies WSOP, but I like to go say good luck to everybody as they're walking in the doors and get those quick hugs and you go get them, girl, kind of last minute cheers in for these people. And then I'm going to go back that night during dinner break because Poker Stars in KJ and Maria Karnikova, KJ and Jennifer Shadi are hosting a little mixer, for the dinner break. And I'm definitely going to, I signed up. I put my little name and everything in there to go. I think that's fantastic.
That's very cool. Congratulations to KJ.
Yes.
Who we appointed on the WPA International Board not long ago, I think early last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's the poker manager at the Hippodrome? Is
At
where
the
she?
Hippodrome, yeah.
Oh.
The Poker Stars room.
Poker
Wow.
Stars room manager.
Yes.
Yeah, GM of
That
Poker
is
Room.
awesome.
Yeah, general manager or something. Yeah.
She is.
Director.
Well,
Managing
I don't know
director.
her, so I'm going to be able to go meet her. I know of her, but I've never met her.
I've talked you both up so much. So
So I think we're going to be fast friends.
you are. I
Yeah.
tell her all the time, you're the Lupe of UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to love her.
I cannot wait. I just think that Ladies Week is something that's here to stay. It's not going away.
I love it.
And right now, now it's kind of funny because what we were doing before for Ladies Week in the summer is now what I'm creating in the December
Yeah.
for Winter Week.
Winter week.
So now I'm doing all the events for Winter Week, and I've noticed that a couple of the other properties are starting to do ladies events. I'm going to punch them in the throat if they do it on top of one of our events, but there's room if people. And I've got to give a shout out for a lot of our rooms, even though they weren't Lips events, and I get it, it's okay, but they were very supportive in coordinating with me. They still said, hey, what dates do you have open? Show me what you got. And I would, I said, hey, it's first come, first serve. And so I put in mine first. And then after that, I said, this is what I got open. And they would, they all took in their dates that they wanted, with the exception of a couple of rooms. And those couple of rooms are now experiencing some overlap. And it's going to be, again, one of those situations where a woman has to decide which one she wants to support. And I don't like that. So hopefully at some point, all of the rooms will get it and understand that it is such a small slice of the pie in the poker market. We really don't want to separate these gals and their decisions. Let's give them an opportunity to every day have a different place to play and not have to make a choice as to where they want to go and play.
I mean, it benefits the room because when the ladies have to make a choice, they don't get as many players.
It puts their player numbers at risk.
Exactly.
Well, we had your opening 20-year anniversary event in Sydney
Yes,
at King's
the very,
Poker Room.
very first one.
Yeah, and then we had one in Malta,
We did have one in Malta.
and that
Yep.
went down really well.
Well, now I'm going to talk to KJ. We got to have one in London.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm
Yeah.
going there.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the evolution of women's poker, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. So did you have anything else you want to talk about for Lips this week?
Well, I just hope that everybody comes out for the national championship. It's happening on the 26th of this week. Of course, we got the Venetian on Tuesday, but on Wednesday is the national championship. Chris Reed is a back-to-back champion. She won 2 years in a row. She says she's coming back for a three-peat.
Oh.
And everybody's saying, So they're coming after her title. And we just, the only thing is that we've got Poker Power. Poker Power has joined us, and they are going to host a mixer during registration at 9:00 in the morning. Come on out. They're going to have some small bites there for what is the name of the place again?
Cafe Lola.
Cafe
which is
Lola.
a woman-owned company.
A women-owned company. So they're doing a support women who support women. Or
Exactly.
basically.
Women who support women.
Women who support women. And so while you're getting registered and stuff, well, come on over and we're going to do some little tips and tricks. If you can give tips and tricks to the rest of the gals.
I'll give you a little prize.
She's got some prizes.
If you come
She's
out
going to
and-
bring some Poker Power stuff. So come on out and join us. And if you don't know this Cafe Lola, go ahead and look it up because they've got amazing pastries and stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Right?
Yeah. And then don't forget, we're going to also have the next day on Thursday in the evening. The aria is during the day, but if you manage to bust out or if you're not playing the aria and you'd like to come and take your last shot at a satellite to the ladies WSOP, we're going to be it's $150 buy-in.
Wow.
And it's 1 in 10 will get a $1,200 cash out. So they're going to get $1,000 for their buy-in and then $200 for cash just for their pocket. So come and join us.
That's
That'll be
amazing.
it's a
That's my
great
price point
event.
for Hold'em.
That's
Me
amazing.
too.
That's
Me
what
too.
that's about what I'm willing to
And
spend
God's
on
honest
Hold'em.
truth, you're getting cash, so you can go buy a pocketbook. I don't care what you buy, but come on out
Exactly.
and try. Even if you already did your buy-in, that's fine. Come out and maybe you just replace your cash
Be your
that you put
second
out.
buy bullet.
Yeah.
'Cause we get
How
two
many
shots.
you get? You get two? Okay.
2 shots.
That is so weird. It used to be. Now, okay, this is dating myself, but when I played the WSOP years ago, it was dollar for dollar. If you played a $1,000 event, you got $1,000 in chips.
Oh, wow. How
It was dollar for
funny.
dollar. Yeah.
That's weird.
And then, you know, we had this poker boom and then people said, okay, well, we need more. So they gave us 2,000. And now it's like, you know, now what you understand what poker is today. But yeah, it used to be like that.
Did it go much faster?
It was still very fierce. Yeah, it did play better. It played harder. And then now they had re-entries, and they didn't used to have re-entries either.
Did it change the structures? Did you have
Oh,
longer
it was
in the
the
structure?
shittiest structures you ever saw in your
I can
life.
imagine.
Terrible structures. But you know, it was the World Series, and these people who played serious, and they were good, and you know, it literally is the top of the game. And before, I think it attracted more of your professional players, and now we attract a lot more everyday players, recreational players, and professional players. It's kind of a blend of everybody, because people are either online professionals or they're really or maybe it's their very first time ever playing the WSOP at a big buy-in. You know, you got all levels, and I think back in the day you saw less of that. It was more people who played serious poker more professionally.
Yeah. Well, we have one of my girlfriends here. He's going to come in and hang out for a little bit too now.
Oh, wonderful.
And she is here to play the ladies' events, Ladies' Week.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like she's from Australia, and there's 3 others from Australia. So, yeah, actually 4 others. So it's fully international now.
Yeah. It was back in the day when we were spelling out lips, and that I was always just a dream that we would have ladies international poker series.
Oh, wow.
And it's come to fruition. I mean, we actually literally had, this last April, we had people from Brazil, from Spain, from Portugal, and of course
so many
Canada
ladies here.
and Mexico.
But now we've had tournaments overseas too. Like
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
actual tournament. Have you done that before this year? Is this the
Yes.
first time?
No, it's not the first time. We've played in Peru, we've played in Mexico. We played in, I have to think.
It's okay.
I can't remember.
Now you got Malta and Australia.
Yeah, Malta, Australia. It's just, to me, it's just a manifestation of a big old dream. It's fantastic. I love it.
Super
Love it, love it,
cool.
love it.
Okay, so want to get Lorraine?
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
Lorraine in and see what she has to say about it.
Okay.
It's really cool to get someone's perspective this is her first WSOP summer.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, for us, it's like normal
Right.
everyday things. Yeah. But for these girls,
it's
they're
still
like,
exciting.
they're like freaking out about everything. You know, it's like so much happening. So
I live
that's-
here and I still remember the first time I walked in the WSOP. It's memorable.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Right?
Yeah.
All right,
It is.
let's get Lorraine in.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, Lorraine. So Lorraine, like Tat said, came all the way from Melbourne, Australia, which is really far away.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Should I start with a g'day?
You should definitely start with a good day.
G'day, mate.
Yeah.
How's it hanging?
Throw in any more Australian words. We love it.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say. So I met Lorraine actually playing with her in Crown with Tat. So she's became a friend of mine, and I adore her. And she's one of Tat's regular
Besties
besties that she
Besties.
hangs out with, and they play a lot of cash. And I'm in a 3-way group chat. So I'm sleeping when they're all awake playing cash. So I always wake up to quite interesting stuff.
It's usually abusive to each other.
No, it's
Tilting. And then there's the good days too. And then there's
no,
the-
it's never abusive of them. It's always the other people on the table.
Yeah, it's like everybody else's
I learned
fault.
I learned what bananas were when I was there in Australia. That's what they call people that are not playing very nicely. They say, "Oh, there's a banana on the table."
Yes,
And
absolutely.
we do use the CU unforbidden word here, CUNT, next Tuesday.
The next Tuesday. Oops.
Yeah. In an adoring fashion in Australia, so that's thrown around a
Just
lot.
part of the language. It just rolls off the tongue. It doesn't roll off my tongue, but it rolls off. It's
Oh, yeah, just
part of
these
the language.
witches, huh?
It's so common. It's
They can't help it. They're like under those queen countries or something. So
but The Commonwealth.
It is true.
Commonwealth. Okay, so Lorraine, so tell us about your journey. Tell us what you think about WSOP. Like, what was your first experience walking in? Like, what was it like?
Oh, look,
This is her
overwhelming.
first one.
I think that's the best way to start off. It's just overwhelming. I mean, playing poker's great, of course. We all love that. That's what we're here for. But this town has certainly put it on. That's for sure. You know, it's. I played a couple of tourneys. I've busted out of a couple of tourneys. I played the Gladiator the other day, and I min-cashed on that. And the whole time, I mean, look, we don't do a lot of tourneys in Melbourne because we had COVID, everything got shut down, things disappeared. So we don't have the calibre of events that you've got here, which is what we were really excited about coming over to WSOP for. One of the really interesting things, I mean, I didn't even know we were on the bubble in the Gladiator because I was just so focused on the table. It was like brilliant.
And it's so big.
And every time I'm winning a hand, I'm thinking, oh, I did it again, you know. So, you know, it's absolutely amazing. It's a huge sort of I'm not going to say life-changing event, but it's really engaging. It's sort of that next level, which is what we've come over for. It's definitely where we want to be, yeah. And there's a whole group of Aussies over here as well, so that's really exciting.
The first time I encountered a big group of Aussies was when Joe Hashem was at the final table.
Oh, gosh.
Absolutely.
And it was, you know, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. And I was like, ay, yay, yay. You know, picking on him, but it was fantastic, that support.
Yeah.
Well, we have lots of Aussie girls from Melbourne here, which is so cool because these are my homie girls.
Yeah, that's who you
that
play
I
with
play
when you're
with
at home,
every
right?
day, every day.
You know, I'm just curious because, I mean, this is not close for you.
Absolutely not.
How do you get, if you, do you consider yourself a professional or do you consider recreational? Recreational player.
Recreational.
Okay.
Look,
So,
I'm fortunate I get the opportunity to travel a fair bit. I'm working while I'm here. So, you know, I'm trying to juggle Melbourne time, Las Vegas time. I'm self-employed, so I get to travel the world and work where I want to be. So that's
really
fortunate
great.
for me.
Yeah.
We get a lot of holidays as well in Aussie. So, you know, the
Get your
other
8
groups
weeks.
that are here now, they've banked up annual leave and we've come over, you know, we get 4 weeks annual leave, paid leave. And you need it when you're getting on a plane and it's a 15-hour flight from Melbourne to LA.
Right.
You need that kind of time to recover.
They say they get lots of holidays. They don't open.
yeah.
I went at Christmas. They were all gone for a whole month.
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
and all of the like stores we went to had signs on the door with suggested hours. They may or may not be there. It wasn't quite a set rule.
That's hilarious.
Walkabout, you know.
A walkabout.
We may open today. I'm not quite positive.
Yeah.
We feel like it.
Well, we live on an island. Come on, and it's summer. And
Yeah.
A really big island.
Yeah. I just was, I'm very spoiled and I want everything convenient. You know, that's probably why I'm a city girl. I want everything on, McDonald's and 7-Eleven on the corner convenient. You have to be pretty committed to make a decision, to come all the way on the other side of the world to play poker.
Yeah, it's fun.
How do you get there?
It's
How do you get to that spot?
Look, my journey started out with my dad was ill. He got Alzheimer's and I started out thinking, I have to do something different. So I needed to brain train. And of course, then everyone likes a good game. And I got, I'm not going to say suck it into poker, but it is that next level of strategic thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not going to say it's passive. It's definitely not passive, but physically not able to do a sport. So I needed to have something where I could learn. And of course, we don't have, like I've mentioned before, the range of games that you've got here or the level of skill. The people in this town are wicked skilled, and that's what we've come over for, to better pit ourselves a bit against the skilled players that are here. I am budget. I am not next level, some of the stuff that I've seen around town, not me at all.
She is being so humble. She
Oh,
is
no,
aggressive at the table. She is a shy.
Not at all.
Lorraine's a really good hold and player.
She's a great holding player. I'd be scared if she's at my table.
Thank you. But
I actually have her sit across from me and tell me what I'm doing wrong.
I'm going, I
so
wouldn't do
great.
that, Tat.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
That's really great.
So, yes, you do have to be a bit committed, but it's great to come here and do it. Having said that, Tatiana and Rebbecca and I have travelled to
Quite a
the
bit.
weirdest places just to have a game. So,
Wow.
That's fair now.
That is true.
Something I found really interesting as an American when I went to Australia was explain the tournament rule there and how you guys have the 12-hour rule. Explain that and why you guys don't have tournaments.
All right.
Because they don't have any idea about it. We live in
I
Vegas.
know,
So.
it is so just off the planet. Okay, bit of backstory. You need the backstory here because we play at Crown in Melbourne. Well, Crown went through a royal commission because it was doing some things that it shouldn't be doing. So the government gave it I think it was a 50-year licence back in the 80s, something like that. Anyway, they got caught out doing some things that they shouldn't be doing. So the Victorian government said, you're not going to be doing that anymore without some oversight. And we have a very strong Labor government, which is sort of a bit of a socialist kind of thing. And it's a bit of a nanny state thing too. So basically the government said, and this is for all gamblers, not just poker players, so all gamblers in Crown had to have a break every 3 hours. And so what that means for poker is the whole table stops. For 15 minutes, everyone has to get up out of the seat, walk away from the poker table.
And not come back or touch
You're
anything.
not allowed to come back. They announce when you're allowed to come back to the table. I know this is so weird for you guys. And then you can start playing again. But you're only allowed to do that within a 12-hour period. So you can't play any longer than 12 hours in any 24-hour period. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's hilarious.
You get kicked out of the casino.
No, I got tapped on the shoulder while I was there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
does that mean for cash and or
It doesn't
tournament?
matter.
It
does
doesn't
not matter.
matter.
They come and tap you, and they're
No
like,
matter what.
they're like,
What?
you've
The
been here
minute
and
you-
they kind of like shame you a little bit. They're like, you've been here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You got to go.
You've been here 6 hours.
So for those of us that may do a little bit of table hopping, and don't put your card in so they don't know how many
Don't look at
hours
me.
you've been playing.
You're on a global podcast.
Whoops. Secret tab.
So look at me.
Although we do have tapping here. If you play anywhere in Texas, yes, they tap you. Your time's up. Here's pay another.
But they want
Oh,
money.
that's
That's
not-
different.
that's
It's
not
not
a
money.
tap
They
to
literally
pay.
want
This
you to.
is-
They're like, no,
yeah.
you need to take a break now.
Oh, you have to take a break.
Yeah,
take
you
a
have to take a
break.
break.
But it's
And think
changed the
about
game
and
because
think
of
about
that.
your life choices.
Yeah.
And not going to the ATM and reload.
Oh, that was the other
hilarious.
thing. There's
Yeah.
no ATMs inside there. You have
No.
they force you to go all the way out,
Yeah.
very far away to get
Very
money.
far.
Yeah, to come back to get.
So you can have a good think about what you're doing on the way to that ATM.
that was something I found
Yeah.
interesting too. Yeah.
A good think about.
On top of that, so we've got the 3-hour rule and then no play longer than 12 hours in a 24, but no play longer than 36 in a 7-day week. So, that's absolutely hilarious. I mean, you can't play a tournament in that. So our tournament structures, that's why we're here. Our tournament structures have had to be modified to be able to finish a game within 12 hours. Now, you can't, so we're missing levels. Well, that's not really good tournament play. So that's why we're here. It's good, you've got 4-day events. We would have 4-day events and still have to be within a 12-hour rule.
Oh,
Doesn't
wow.
cut it.
Well, Crown has just brought back a poker series and they're doing really well. They just had one before I left, the Crown Poker Series, and it did really well. And they're working around it and they're trying to make it work. And there is the APL, the Australian Poker League, and then there's Australian Poker Tour, APT. So they all run tournaments, but just tournaments.
Well, but that's a Crown rule, right? Because when I went to
it's a Crown
Sydney,
rule.
or no, where did I go? Gold Coast with WPT. At the Star, they play tournaments. We didn't have
They
to
didn't
stop at
have
all.
that.
No,
So that's
no.
just
They
a
have
Crown
it now.
rule.
It
too.
is. It's a casino rule. It's sort of like a cash game rule. Sydney's bringing it in. I think it's in Perth as well, and it was part of the Royal Commission. So
very interesting.
Yes, Crown got
you're
in
right.
trouble.
APL or the WPT events, they're not they're not subject to those kind of rules because they're tournaments. There's not the cash component on them.
Okay, so since I've been playing poker, I keep hearing about the Aussie Millions. So if they're going to bring that back, how is that going to work? Are they able to, have they moved the rule a little bit? Are they being lenient?
There's discussions about it.
There's a rumour they're going to bring it back.
There's rumours.
Yeah, I can't
because I'm going if that happens.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I absolutely love playing over that period. I can't see how they can get it up and running though with those rules in place. And how are we going to draw the international traveller to Australia to do it? Our money's tanked. Where are you going to get the big names? You know, we had
that's
we had
exactly
big
why
name,
we're coming because your money's tanked. My
dollars
dollars weren't
the pros pool then isn't great. I mean, you get good value for money when you could buy the whole country for $100. You know,
That's funny.
I've got a great deal. I'm staying down the street at Tatiana playing the Aussie Millions.
fair enough.
And I'll get you a nice flight over.
Right, exactly.
Well, actually, the money is a sting. The exchange rate is a bit of a sting.
No, I know. It's hard for you guys. You got our dollars, like it's half, right?
Yes, 64, 66.
Some of our friends changed the money today and we got 64 cents to the dollar. So, you know, we hand over a brick and we get a few pieces of paper back.
Okay, so where did you exchange your money? Because that's
the
something.
Currency exchange.
Is that the best in town?
Yeah,
You're from, for our international
the one you
players.
took me to once before, you know.
Yeah, it's across from Bagel Mania, right off the strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a currency exchange there. It's probably the best in town.
Yeah.
Is that the Casino Drive or something like that? Casino.
I don't want
to. Or Convention Drive?
I think it is Convention
It's
Drive because it's not
101
Elvis Presley, so it has to be Convention Drive.
It is Convention
So
Drive.
did you know that you had a famous last name in poker?
The first time I came to Vegas, someone pointed it out. Yeah. I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Her last name is Stupak.
I know.
And it's
No relation?
No relation, no.
that she knows of.
Yeah. When I get the wink or something at the time at the
Some
table
sneaky
or something.
family
it's cool.
stuff.
Yeah, that's a big name.
And are
in
you
Vegas.
playing the ladies' WSOP bracelet event?
Oh, I'm hoping to, but we've just talked about the dollar and
You need to work.
Yeah, it is tough stuff.
That's
around
okay. Come
that.
play the Lips Championship and you'll be just as happy.
The lips,
It'll be
Yeah.
just as competitive.
just as competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, she has final table the WSOP circuit ring in Sydney.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah, that
sixth
was
or fifth.
Yeah,
Sixth?
it was something like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sixth or fifth,
Got it in
yeah.
good. That's all you could do.
Right?
She's so
Get it in
humble.
good. The board will roll out how it's going to roll out. Yeah. So, yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to it. I looked at the event schedule again today. I do want to play the WSOP ladies event. Just because it's that. But women are so hard to play against. They're tough stuff.
They are.
And it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad the levelling up is occurring. I mean, we've often said at home, if there's any more than, 3 women on a table,
I'm out of
change.
Oh no, I say all the
Change
time.
tables.
I play
Yeah.
Lupe's events. I'm not a big Hold'em player, but I will come out to play the fun stuff like pajama jams or
Yeah.
charity events or things like that. And
Yeah.
the women are so tough.
Yeah.
They are so hard
That's
to
what
play
we're here
against.
for, though. We want to level up. We
Yeah.
need that skill. How are we going to compete if we can't, compete against some of the best that are in town? This is it.
And if you play against all the ladies, and if there's any kind of a little thing that you keep in your arsenal against men, it's gone.
Yeah.
You cannot use it.
No, that's right.
So you eliminate any of those things, and you got to play pure poker.
It levels the field.
Yeah.
It does level the field.
Can't bluff.
Yeah, it's
Well,
good.
welcome back to the WSOP and to Vegas, because we've been here many, many times, and I'm telling you, there ain't nothing like it. I don't care what anybody says. If you've never been to the World Series of Poker season in Las Vegas, you have never been to a poker season. This is it.
It's exciting seeing it through her eyes as well for the first time again, because you get complacent because you're so used to it. And then when they're all so excited and freaking out, and, oh my God, it's so big. And, we're railing friends on final tables in the big arena in there. It's like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. Is there any poker person, personality that you would be like flip your skirt to meet?
Look, I can't because everyone's different. You admire certain people for their skill or the way they present themselves or how they play, and it's usually that snippet of time. So I can't really.
She likes somebody bad. She doesn't want to tell us.
With Tatiana, sometimes I'm like, did you see that?
Well, you love Rob.
Are you gonna let us guess?
You love Rob and Michael. You love the Mizrahi boys.
You should have seen me giggling, like fangirling over there the other day when Rob Mizrahi was on that final table. Hi, Rob! and he's like in the zone and just playing and looked across at me and went, hi.
No, he loves
that's a good sport. That's
cool.
He loves us.
Rob's amazing.
Yeah, he still loves all
He
the
brought me a
girls.
blanket in Florida.
He loves the girls. He's so good to us.
Well,
Very good
there's
to us.
been a lot of really interesting stuff of that one gal who got thrown out this year.
I heard
Because
that.
I didn't really see it, but I mean, it's kind of funny because anybody who watches those kinds of things where they say, "Oh, here's a Karen video," and they've got a like bunch of them things that are tied together, and it's all these different incidents. My kid texts me. She goes, "Look, it's a poker Karen," and I was like, "What is this?" And she sends me this video, and it's of that lady that got thrown out of the WSOP, and I started laughing. I was like, "Wow, it went mainstream. It didn't even stay in the poker world. It went mainstream."
You can have.
I think it's because it's a woman.
Yeah.
That it went mainstream.
Yeah, I do.
It's sad.
Well,
I do.
that's-
Because whenever there's
so
a
much
negative
bad
thing with a
behavior.
woman like that, they make a bigger deal about it.
Yeah, but if you look at all of the events that they've had so far, they haven't thrown anybody out.
Yeah, she got 86.
She was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that because it was a woman, that's the reason it went mainstream. It wouldn't have if it was a man. They would just, I was there when Phil said he was going to burn the building down.
Yes.
And he didn't even get a penalty.
He didn't get that. No.
He didn't get a penalty.
He didn't get nothing.
As he was running down the hallway. So
He said,
Well, also, there's a lot of mental health issues, and we have to be understanding of that, especially now. Time's tough for everybody, and you don't really know what someone's going through, and you always have to rule out a medical condition before a behavioural issue. And I feel that. I feel for that lady. Like, it's clearly something's going on.
"Oh yes, that was not a normal thing.
reaction.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, I've had some bad beats even this week. Even you last night, which I was laughing at you. But Full House. I thought the
Full House.
oh
But,
man.
but we were just, you get mad, but not that mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sad,
I
feel
wasn't
for
mad.
her.
I mean, the girl had pocket queens. She won out at me. I mean, I got lucky. I flopped a Full House. I called her with, suited one gap of connectors. I got lucky. She had the better hand starting. She got
So
there on the
funny.
end. Give her the chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what you text me.
No, I know.
Was there a banana in the conversation?
She was not
She should have folded when I jammed on the flop. What can I say?
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe
That
our
is so
time
crazy.
is up?
No, I can't. That was fast hour.
That
But-
was amazing.
I'm excited that you guys are here. I think it's fantastic that there are women from the other side of the planet that are playing this game and that are willing to make this kind of a track and come out and enjoy this. And we just welcome you with open arms, and hopefully you'll come back again and again.
Thanks.
Bring some more girls.
I think that one's a given. They're coming back.
That's so
But yeah,
awesome.
look, the whole Aussie crew are just,
had
we're
a blast.
messaging back home. We're working on next year. We're already planning it. We're not even halfway through this season.
Oh, that's so
cool. Yeah,
great.
it's
That's
good.
so great. Wonderful. Well, I wish you the best at the tables for the duration.
Thank
If you're
you. I
here.
think we're going to need it.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and go, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Yeah,
Oi, oi,
exactly.
oi, for just
Oh,
for
if you
you.
make a final table, we are.
Yeah, we're there.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
totally
Good.
there.
I don't have my Aussie flag. Abby took
We'll
it to
find
college
one.
with
Hey,
her.
man, It'll be here tomorrow.
I used to have one on my ceiling because my daughter.
Oh, that's so
I left one
great.
at her house.
Well, we just want everybody to use this time during the WSOP season and Ladies Week coming up. And just remember, the most important part of poker is your relationships. So make those friends. Remember, like you said, not everybody's having a good day. Be encouraging, be positive, cheer on the people who are doing good things in all the events, and share it. If it's on social media and you see it, just share it or give them an atta girl, whoever it is, even if you don't know them, because those kinds of encouraging words is huge for everybody.
And tip your dealers if you're playing cash and be nice to them.
Well, be nice to all the service people.
Well, yes,
because they are
Everybody.
working so hard, so long. I mean, it's brutal. Their regular shifts are 8 hours. They're working 12s, some even 15s.
Yeah.
So be nice. Be nice.
And I'd just like to thank all the ladies because I recently resigned from the WPA.
Yeah.
After an amazing 5 years, for all the messages and texts and DMs. Like, so cute. They're so sweet. I love all the ladies and I can't wait to see you all this week.
Yeah.
And let's just all be cool.
Yes. Yes. Well, the WPA will definitely miss you. That's for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, good luck at the tables. And from the real Poker Girls of Las Vegas, we'll see you next time.
And I'll give you an uru as well. See ya.
Hey.
Freaking Aussie.